Hello everybody. I just wanted to do a quick little video on this first assignment, how to draw a logo. So what I'm supposed to do here, it says I'm supposed to create a new document in Illustrator, 8 by 10, place the supplied logo files on one page and make that layer into a template, and then use the pen tool and draw those logos as closely as I can. So I'm just going to walk through those steps, so in case you didn't follow along or didn't get a chance to catch up, you'll have this to reference. Here's Adobe Illustrator. By the way, what I'm doing is I'm holding down the Command key and I'm hitting Tab, and that cycles me through all my open applications. So that's how I'm getting to Illustrator. You can also just open it through your applications. Here I am in lovely Illustrator. I want a new document, Command N or File, New document. I can pick a 8.5 by 11 letter size or custom or these existing templates, but my teacher says I'm supposed to make an 8 by 10. So here I'm going to type in 8 there. I'm going to type in 10 here. By convention, by the way, horizontal dimensions come first. So if I say 8 by 10, what I mean is that I want the 8 to be the horizontal dimension and the 10 to be the vertical dimension. I'm working in inches because your teacher is from the States. It's also standard in our business that we're going to be working with imperial measurements rather than metric. We will occasionally work with metric, but just so you are familiar with inches as well, inches and feet. So we've got an 8-inch by 10-inch document. I'm not going to worry about bleed. We'll talk more about that later on. I'm going to leave the color mode alone, the raster effects, all this other stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and create that document. So now there's my blank page. Back here it says I'm supposed to place the supplied logo files on one page. So I'm going to go back to Illustrator, File, Place. There's the command right there. Or, as you can see right there, Shift Command P. I'm on a Macintosh, so every time I say Command, if you're on a PC, it's Control. If I'm hitting the Option key on a Mac, it's going to be the Alt key on your PC. I'll try to remember to mention that once in a while, but I think we can make it work. So I'm going to place a file. I'm going to look in my week 1 supplied logos. You will probably have to download these. They are in eConestoga in week 1. If you download each individual file, they'll be in your downloads folder. Mine happened to be in my week 1 stuff because I'm organized. I'm going to place that file. So you see it turns my cursor into a little bucket. And so in my bucket, I just click where I want it and it goes, wow, it's huge. So clearly too big to use. I got to get this down to a size that I can use. So what I can do is click this corner and start shrinking it. How's that? What do you mean you don't like the way that looks? I wrecked it, didn't I? Because Command Z is your friend. Command Z is undo. Because I just grabbed a corner and moved it, I changed the proportions of that logo and ruined it. So undo. Don't do that. When you grab the corner, hold down the Shift key, either PC or Mac, and it will constrain your proportions so that it doesn't change the proportions of that logo. Shift and then resize it until you're happy with that size. I won't do the other two because we'll just save time on this video, but just so you know, that's how you do it. Place, use the Shift key when you resize it. Now it says I'm supposed to make this layer into a template. Over here I've got layers open. If you don't see your layers, it's that key right there to open up your layers. If you don't see that and you're having a hard time finding that, go to Window. Holy cow, look at that list. Anything you ever want to know about pretty much any Adobe program, if you're looking for something, it's probably in here. Go to Window. Every application from Adobe has a Windows file or a Windows tab like this, and you'll find pretty much anything you want. Layers. Hey, there's layers right there. So now I've got my layers open. The layer has my logo on it, but I want to make that layer into a template. So I click that layer, and then I go here, and no, sorry, I don't do that. I go here. I just double click on that layer. So there's my layer 1. It says, what do you want to do with that layer? I want to make it a template. Okay. It's going to automatically dim that image to 50%. That's fine. So I just click OK. Now you see what's happened. I can't draw on this layer because it's a template. That little logo, that little signal right there means template, and that little signal means that it's locked. I cannot draw on that any longer. But if I go over here and pick new layer, now I've got another layer, not a template, that I can use to draw on. So now notice I've got my eyeball. That means I can see this layer. It's not locked right here, layer 2. And I've got some place I can now work. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm holding down Command Space, or you can come over here and grab the magnifying glass and click on it and zoom in a little bit. All right, I want to talk about the pen tool. Pen tool is your friend, but it takes a while to get to the friend part. Right now you're just maybe strangers, maybe you're just an acquaintance, but let's get to be friends. As you know, there are two kinds of points that you can draw with the pen tool, a corner point and a curve point. If I want to draw a corner point, I just click and I can draw corners like that. If I want, and you'll notice that, let me just grab that path again. You'll notice I do want a corner here, and I'm going to want a corner way back here because those are sharp points. But here, I want a curve. So to draw a curve, I'm going to have to draw, click and drag, click and drag. You'll notice two things. That when I move my pen tool out here, it'll tell me, based on this curve handle right here, that line is going to come out of this point and do this because of that curve handle already. Second thing you'll notice is when you click and drag some more, you then change the way that point, that line behaves as it comes into that point. So you're controlling those two things, what it looks like coming out of the point and what it looks like going into the next point. So if you want to draw curved shapes like this big fat oval, there you go. That's how you do it. You'll notice that I'm clicking and dragging in the same direction. So if I want that to turn around and go backwards, I can pull it that way. But I don't want it to go backwards. I want it to go forwards like that. So you've got a lot of control with this tool, but it takes a while to get used to it. Don't get frustrated. Just practice. It's like the guy jumps into the taxi cab in New York City and says, "Quick, how do I get to Carnegie Hall?" And the taxi driver says, "Practice, practice, practice." Okay, so what I want to do is draw this with as few points as I can, but not being stingy. So what does that look like? I know I want a corner point here. Click. Now here, it's a curve. So I think what I'll do is put one about here, click and drag, and try to get that to match up. See what I mean? Now, you'll notice back here, I could go all the way back here and put my corner here. But you'll notice that it doesn't match up right in here. That's because this is only a curve up into about here, and then it's a straight line. So I actually want to define that by putting a point here to say curve goes the back way like that. And you'll notice here, I'm putting my curve handle right on the line. So that means from here to here, from this point to this point, it's going to be a curve. And from here to here, I can just go click and define that back edge. Same thing's going to happen along here. I'm going to click and pull, keeping my curve handle on that line. Come back here. I'll probably put one right on the belly right there and get that to be just about where I want it to be. And then I can come back here and click there. Now you say, "Tom, nice try, but you don't match up right here." You're absolutely right. Now I'm going to hold down my command key, control on a PC. See what happens? My cursor changes from the pen tool to my selection tool. So now with my selection tool, I can grab that curve handle and edit it and pull it out and get that to match up just exactly. So hopefully that gives you a kind of a clear sense of how to think about the way that the points get used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points is what I needed. You might be able to do it with fewer, but it's pretty tough. I think that's probably about as good as I'm going to get. So hopefully that's helpful for you. I look forward to seeing your assignment 1s due next week at the beginning of class. See ya.